All right. Thank you all for being with us today. I am fortunate enough to have several folks from Cincinnati Children's Hospital Medical Center to talk about some of the great opportunities they have to present for you all. So, Cody, I'm going to turn it over to you and let you go.
All right. Well, thanks so much, Kelly. We'll get started here just doing some quick introductions for ourselves and just talking about some areas that we support. I can kick it off here. My name is Cody Pyle. I'm one of the RN recruiters with Cincinnati Children's. Primarily, I support our inpatient psychiatric hospital out at College Hill, which is on the west side of Cincinnati. Support our inpatient units there. And then I also support some of the inpatient units with our Liberty Township location, which is on 75, just north of Greater Cincinnati. So I'll let whoever else would like to go next.
I'll go. My name's Tracy Gershner, and I am a nurse here at Cincinnati Children's. I've been here for over 30 years, and now I am a nurse recruiter. And I support for the new graduates for positions that you all might be considering, the cardiac ICU and the pediatric ICU. And then down the road, we can talk about other career opportunities in the ambulatory and outpatient world.
I'm going
to go ahead, Fatu.
My name is Fatou Soare. I support the PCA. We have a path line from patient attendance to nurse tech to PCAs, any of those from high school to nursing school to actual going to job as a nursing. So we are the start of your pipeline. And then we are here to help you for any need that you have for that area.
And I'm Michelle Holmes, so I'm a nurse recruiter as well, supporting the peri-op areas. And new grad opportunities would be within our OR at main campus. And then I also support an inpatient unit, short stay medical, which also would be a good opportunity for new grads. And I'll hand it off to Vonda.
Hi, my name is Vonda White, and I too, like Tracy, I've been at Children's for quite some time, nearly 30 years. I do support the advanced practice providers along with Tracy, as well as some inpatient med surg units that we love new grads, and some ambulatory units. Thank you.
Hey everyone, my name is Caleb Sullivan. I support every area for LPNs, health unit coordinators, and patient escort.
Sorry, I'm trying to go to the next slide and it's not advancing for me. Well, there we go.
So I believe this is me, Cody.
Yeah.
Cincinnati Children's has been around a really long time, and just some facts and figures. We are a pediatric academic medical center nonprofit, and we have been established since 1883. We are ranked number 3 in the nation among the honor roll hospitals with U.S. News and World Report. We rank within the top 3 in the nation for NIH funding, which is a pretty amazing feat for our organization. And so what that does help for us is to have that research right and translate it to the bedside and to really impact patient care. We have 720 total registered beds, including 137 of the inpatient mental health beds at our College Hill campus. We have served patients from all over the world, 29 different countries, all 50 states, and we have employees from over 116 different countries here at Cincinnati Children's. We are in the process right now on our journey for having our 4th redesignation of magnet status, which is something that we will talk a little bit about and something you want to consider when you're looking for employment, to look at a magnet recognized hospital. Next slide.
Right. And I can talk a little bit about some of our different locations that we have with the Cincinnati Children's Health Network here. So we've got our main Burnett campus, which is on Burnett Avenue, really close to UC's campus in Avondale. And that comprises a lot of our inpatient specialties as well as some outpatient clinics. And then as part of that campus, we also have our critical care building, which just opened in December of 2021. And that's going to house all of our ICU units as well as our emergency department and our urgent care center. So the ED there is a level 1 trauma center. It's a 90,000 square foot facility. So it's, I think it was 3 times bigger than the existing emergency department we had before that critical care building had opened. So we do have, we have a lot of specialties there, though, a lot of new graduate opportunities for sure. Our regional campus is our Liberty campus. If you see there in the middle at the bottom, that also encompasses a lot of specialties with outpatient clinics. Our Cancer and Blood Disease Institute has a large facility there to treat hematology and oncology patients. And then we do have a emergency department and an urgent care center there as well. Moving over to College Hill, that is our mental health inpatient units. So those are on the west side of Cincinnati on Hamilton Avenue. Like Tracy mentioned before, we have 137 beds there. We're actually in the middle of an expansion of that program as well. So in that picture that you can see just to the left of that, we're building an entirely new facility that's going to expand our community offerings for inpatient as well as partial hospitalization and outpatient mental health services. We also have a whole grab bag here of regional campuses, outpatient centers, primary care centers in Ohio, as well as Kentucky and Indiana. And then the newest, we actually are opening up a location in Centerville to help serve some of the population in Dayton and up in that area that we're traveling really far to get services from us. So that's kind of the newest opportunity that we have right now is our Centerville outpatient location. Then I can talk a bit here about benefits, if the slide will load. There we go. So to give a really quick rundown about some benefits for our positions here at Cincinnati Children's, as new grad nurses, as long as you're working at least 32 hours a week, you would be considered a full-time employee with us here at Cincinnati Children's. So you would qualify for all of our benefit packages at our cheapest benefit rates and premium rates that we can offer. So that includes dental, medical, vision plans, all start day one of employment. You would get paid time off as well as access to our employee assistance program. As nurses, we offer shift and weekend differential incentives. So if you do work a night shift or a weekend, you do get extra pay for that. We have health and well-being services, pre-tax spending accounts, short and long-term disability. This is really just an overview. There's a lot of benefits that we can offer here for our employees. The pension plan is another really big one. So we are one of the few companies here in Cincinnati that still offer a true pension plan. Doesn't cost you anything to participate. And if you're working full-time, typically you're going to vest in that pension plan in your first 3 calendar years. So when you hit that 3-year mark, the longer service that you accrue, the more that payout would be in retirement with that pension. We also do provide education assistance. If you're looking at advancing your education toward BSN, toward MSN, toward your doctorate, or any other advanced degrees, we can offer some education assistance here. $5,250 for undergraduate degrees and then $7,500 for graduate courses. And that would be per calendar year that we could reimburse that. And then there's a quick blurb here about some ratios. So if you're in some of our general care units, our med-surg units, some of our step-down units, typically you're going to see about a 1-to-4 nurse to patient ratio. Some of the mid-level acuity units, that's going to drop down a bit to 1-to-3, and then critical care is where really you see a lot of the 1-to-2 or even 1-to-1 patient assignments. The psychiatry program is a little different. They do a therapeutic MIU management. So with that, it's really more of a group setting. It's not so much you're assigned a direct patient, but you're building relationships with those patients as part of their therapy in that program.
And I'm happy to speak about our private duty nursing, but also just the other LPN units we have. We have a variety of different units that are always looking for LPNs. We have units in our main campus. We also have satellite clinics. And as like I said, also our private duty unit. And I'd like to highlight our role transition program for our private duty unit. So what makes us different is that most other institutions require prior experience for those interested in private duty nursing. With our role transition program, you're actually able to be placed in a permanent position after completion of the program. Training and development is comprehensive, and each student nurse receives one-on-one mentorship. We're working on expanding the program, but as of right now, spots are limited.
If Fatu, are you going to talk a little bit about the patient care assistant positions and opportunities for students before they graduate?
Yes. So the PCA is a great pathway to go to RN. So we can start you from high school to nursing school, all the way to your RN degree. So what with these two pathways I'm going to talk about is the patient attendance. You can do that as soon as you get out of high school, and it gives you a feel of the hospital. Sit one-on-one with patient and look at RN nurses, get some idea what they are doing. It also help you know the hospital, and also help them kind of look at all the area of all units, and see if which one is interest them the most. So we can do that with the patient attendance with high school diploma only, or we can do that with nurse tech. You have to be at least for your first year in the nursing program. The patient care assistant will get in if you don't have, you have your SCNA or your EMT, or you have your med surg. You can come directly as a PCA and do not have to pass by nurse tech or patient attendance. So this is a great pathway for you to come in the hospital and know everything that is going on around the hospital before you become an RN. This is a great pipeline. We look at the nurse tech and then became a patient care assistant, from nurse enter to register nurse. So this is a good slide to show you exactly how we work with you to get you in the right path, and you can get all the benefit while you're working with Cincinnati children that Cody mentioned in the previous slides.
So I would like to just reflect a little bit. I started my nursing career here at Cincinnati Children's, and I really felt like it was a gift to come from nursing school and to have the foundation that Cincinnati Children's provided me. Making that transition from nursing school to being a real RN was very frightening to me. But I really felt like this entire organization wrapped its arms around me and really helped me to grow as a nurse. That was years ago. And we're doing even more now. We have this RN residency program, and this is the Vizient residency program. So if the curriculum is AACN approved, and it's based upon the model of Patricia Benner, the nursing theorist, where she says we all start in nursing as a novice, and then we ultimately become an expert. What it is no matter where you would start your career here at Cincinnati Children's, you'll be automatically enrolled in our RN residency program. And this is really to help you grow professionally as that nurse. It's 1 year in length, and it's a series of monthly seminars or touch points where you come together to review different things that are important to you as a new nurse. So looking at pediatric parameters, looking at policy and procedure, and then actually seeing how that care is implemented on the unit. You're going to learn how to do interdisciplinary communications via the SBAR method. And at the end of the residency program, you will create your very own nursing career plan for yourself. Now, the residency runs parallel to your nursing clinical orientation, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But the residency side, I say, is that helps you develop professionally, and it takes 1 year. So it's just a really nice transition for you to help you to mature in your role as a nurse. Next slide. Transition to practice is that clinical orientation. That's the stuff, that's the skills, the things that you're going to learn dependent upon what area you have chosen to start your nursing career. All nurses that come to Cincinnati Children's are going to go through 1 week of general nursing orientation. And that's just like nursing 101, teaching you the nuts and bolts of what it's like to be, or what we need for you to know as a nurse here at Cincinnati Children's. If you would then choose to go start your career in the critical care areas, you would go through our critical care transition to nursing practice. And this is to help you transition that new grad into critical care. We have critical care classes, we have simulation center, and then we have one-on-one precepting at the bedside with you and that nurse. So in the critical care areas, which would be the newborn ICU, the cardiac ICU, and the pediatric ICU, this is where you would have that transition. On the medical surgical units, those are the different units where you're going to learn the different skills that you would need to have on those units. And then we have psychiatry. So no matter where you come in your program to Cincinnati Children's, you're going to have the nursing residency that's going to help you to develop in that professional side, which is 1 year in length. And then you're going to have the transition to practice. And the amount of time that you spend in your orientation for transition to practice is going to be dependent upon where you go. In some of our critical care areas, it's going to be around 6 months. In some of our general med surg areas, it might be 6 to 8 weeks. So it just kind of depends where you start your career and the length that you'll be transitioning to our practice. But you're never alone, even when you finish your orientation. We have educators, we have clinical coaches, we have clinical managers, and you always have your preceptors that are available to help you develop as a professional nurse. You have chosen a career where you will continue to grow and learn the rest of your career, because in nursing, things will always be changing and you will always need to learn the new ways. Next slide.
All right, I'm going to talk about a great opportunity for summer student extern program that we have available to you guys. This is a great way to get involved, but not necessarily at a full-time status, or you're not quite ready to be in that full-time role, in exploring CCHMC. So it is a temporary paid program, 10 weeks long in the summer from May to August. You do need to be enrolled in an accredited program and completed at least 1 clinical rotation. You do get to precept with an RN 1-to-1. So you will use those critical thinking skills, and some hands-on skills, some I's and O's, vital signs, things along those lines, but also get to observe 1-to-1 with an RN throughout those 24 hours a week for that 10-week program. We do have many units, so it gives you an opportunity to step outside of your clinical experience and potentially explore a new unit or opportunity within CCHMC on a temporary basis, and not being fully committed, and explore just a little further where you'd like to ultimately see your nursing career. This does lead into the PCA programs as well, so you can move from a student extern into a PCA role prior to then those other steps of gaining into an RN role. Next slide, Cody.
All right, and I can talk a bit here about our nurse intern opportunity that we have for new grad nurses who have yet to sit for your NCLEX. So this would be an opportunity for you. Once you do graduate from nursing school, you usually are going to have a bit of a lull there between when you get your ATT number and you get your NCLEX scheduled. And we wanted to give students a way that they could get into the hospital to work, build some experience, start to get comfortable in a hospital setting, as well as be able to complete some of our nursing orientation and training programs that don't require that you have that RN licensure. So typically our nurse interns work alongside a nurse, and they can do a lot of patient care duties, really up to anything that is going to stop them from being able to complete a task if it does require licensure. That's going to be things like passing medication and accessing some of the systems that you would need that licensure to actually do. But up to that point, you can work with that nurse to start gaining those skills and getting comfortable in the position. It is a paid internship for students. Again, once you graduate from school and before you take your NCLEX. So it's a 90-day program total. So you can't be in the position more than 90 days. If that ever did happen, you would just be moved to a patient care assistant position where you could continue to work for Cincinnati Children's and build that experience until you do pass your NCLEX and then move into your RN position. But once you do take that NCLEX, you typically would transfer into an RN role within 2 weeks. That's the longest time that there would be a delay. It depends on our transfer schedule, but usually 1 to 2 week lead time there once you pass your test and your license post to the Ohio Board website. And another addition that you get for being an intern with us is you do get access to UWorld, which is an NCLEX test preparation software. I don't remember exactly what the cost of that is. It's several $100s, I believe, for a subscription, but we do give you a 120-day pass to get in there. You can do practice problems, practice tests. You can get feedback on your strengths, weaknesses. We can also work with you, and our Center for Professional Excellence, or our CPE team, can look at some feedback and some results of where you're struggling and where your strengths are, and they can tailor tests really individually to help you with your NCLEX preparation, getting ready to take that test. We have gotten some really good feedback from that software and have heard that's one of the top ones. So we're really excited to be able to offer that for students. And then completing the nurse intern position, you would go right into an RN1 position. So this is a new graduate nurse. When you start in your career, you're going to be completing that residency. You're going to be building your competencies and getting comfortable in the role. As you do advance through your career and you start building those competencies and working on performance plans with your nursing leadership, we offer opportunities for nurses to advance up our clinical ladder. So you can see here, you can go from an RN1 to an RN2. That comes with not only a pay promotion, but it comes with additional leadership responsibilities, additional opportunities to really, connect with some different parts of the hospital that are going to build up your just your leadership skills and working with the teams to kind of help direct the day-to-day operation of units. So like at RN2 and RN3, that's typically where we would see our charge nurses taking on charge responsibilities. So again, building that leadership skill set for you there, and then ultimately advancing up to RN4 once you do hit more of that expert level and you have gotten that experience here at the hospital. We also offer a lot of mentorship opportunities for your career. So if you're really looking to guide yourself into more administrative work and more nursing leadership, like nurse management, director type of positions, we offer some mentorship and coaching and career development resources to really help you guide your career in that direction as well. We really are all about trying to make sure that you know where you want to go. We want to help you get there. We'll move on here to the next slide.
Hi, at Cincinnati Children's, we value diversity, equity, and inclusion. We are highly committed to this initiative, and we believe that every patient, family, and employee that they feel valued and included and respected. We know that a diverse workforce improves patient outcomes. So I'm happy to say that we do offer some minority nursing scholarships. This scholarship grants monetary awards annually to assist with tuition for minority nursing students who are preparing to become pediatric nurses. Some of the requirements, you just have to be, it's typically offered to underrepresented groups in the nursing profession, students that are enrolled or accepted into an accredited pre-licensure bachelor or master's degree program. And also you do have to have a minimum of a 2.75 grade point average. The award is a maximum of $2,750 per year. The funds are typically sent directly to the school to aid with your tuition. Selections are made annually by April 30th. And also just to let you know, the application process does open in February. So real soon here to new applicants. And the scholarship recipients are evaluated based upon thoroughness of application and financial need. Next slide. Along with our minority nursing scholarships, we also offer minority nurse mentoring program. This program provides nurses opportunities for career development, establishing a professional network, and having a dedicated support when faced with challenges. We have found that since we launched this minority nurse mentoring program, which has been in existence for about 2 years now, we have seen an increase in our retention rates among minority employees since we launched this program. The requirements for this program, you currently have to be participating in the Schubert Scholarship Program or a current minority nurse within our Division of Patient Services, willingness to connect with your mentor at least once a month, and then we do have require that you participate in our quarterly professional development sessions, which are wonderful sessions where you get interviewing tips, resume tips, just some guidance on how to determine what career development path you may want to take, what area of nursing you may want to pursue as a new grad. I have been a participant in this program since it launched, and I do have 2 mentees that have done very well. They both have gone through our scholarship programs and now work at Cincinnati Children's. So it's very exciting to be able to work with them and see them grow in their careers as new nurses. Next slide. As I mentioned before, Cincinnati Children's is highly committed to diversity, equity, and inclusion. We know that this helps to end child health disparities. Advancing diversity, equity, and inclusion also helps us to stand against racism. We value in creating an environment free of discrimination. As I mentioned before, we want every patient, family, and employee to feel valued and respected here at Cincinnati Children's, and we take it very personal to be responsible for our actions so that we can display this type of caring environment to everyone. The institution is responsible, has committed to this responsibility, as well as all of the employees. Our paths of action is through our such as employees, like as I mentioned before, we cultivate diverse talent and foster a welcoming environment for everyone, no matter what race, gender, creed, sexual orientation, any of that. We welcome everyone here. Our cultural competence, we build a supporting environment and skills to effectively interact with everyone of all backgrounds. Equity and health excellent, we co-create solutions to achieve equitable outcomes by understanding everybody's needs and barriers and assets. And then we value our community partners and neighbors. We work alongside them to advance health and well-being of our region. So again, we respect everyone at Cincinnati Children's. We welcome each and every one of you. And that's who we are, and that's what we value. And we come to work every day with that mission. Alongside our diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives, I'm proud to say that we offer employee resource groups where we can support the diversities of our organization. We have the African American Professional Advisory Council, the Asian Cultural and Professional groups. We offer a Cincinnati Children's Administrative Professional group, as well as Equal, which is to create a place of awareness and support for employees of all gender and sexual minorities here at Children's. Juntos is a Hispanic Latinx employee resource group. I think it just launched about a year ago, and they're doing very well and celebrating cultural events throughout the year. We have a Veterans and Military Advocacy Network group, which is open to all employees. but is targeted for those who are active military veterans and their families. And then I'm proud to say we have the young professionals group, which is also open to all employees, but targeted for professionals who are 21 to 40 years old. The young professionals host community service events, fundraising, career development, and networking events for all employees. So at Cincinnati Children's, as you can see, we value everyone, no matter what your race, and that's what we have been known for and respected for.
And we have another slide here that I kind of slid it here. I don't know if everybody saw this, and we kind of didn't assign it to anybody, but I'm happy to talk just briefly about our next steps and what that looks like. As a new grad nurse applying for positions here at Children's, or if you're an undergraduate student and you're looking for opportunities as a patient care assistant or a nurse tech position or a patient attendant role, or LPN students, you'd all follow the same exact process. So apply through our Career Center website, cincinnatichildrens.org/careers. You can search for keywords there to find positions that interest you on different specialty units, different areas of the hospital, different locations. Everything should be listed there that we have open right now. So timelines for new grad nurses: apply in your last semester of school, so up to 4 to 5 months prior to graduation. Right now, our units are entertaining interviews for May graduates. So you can complete interviews and we can make offers for positions. That would just be contingent that you do get your licensure after you take the NCLEX. So it's a great time now to start looking for opportunities and submitting your application. For scholarships, they're all going to vary. It depends what the scholarship is, but check out our website for information about those. The Schubert Scholarship deadline is April 30th, like Vonda had mentioned. That's coming up here. I think application, she said, opens in February. So keep an eye out for those if you're interested in looking at that program. And then the externship is, again, look for specific extern cohort information on our career sites. And then the last slide we have here is just some information and contact information here. If you're interested in positions, please feel free to reach out. We can provide additional information, answer questions that you have, and help kind of guide some information that can help you decide if this position that you're looking at is going to be right for you, or if we have other opportunities that could be a great fit. And that is really everything that we have here. So that's the end of the presentation. I'll flip back just so this is here for a little longer if any student need to see some contact information. If anybody else has anything to add as a wrap up, please feel free.
I appreciate you all being here today. Thank you all so much. And if there is any final thoughts that anybody has, happy to kind of put that out there before we end the recording. Hearing none, I'm going to stop the recording. And again, thank you all so much for being here.